Namaste, all of you. Greeting people with Namaste is now the new normal throughout the world. All are being to understand the wisdom of our ancient Indians and Indian practices. Our ancient tradition and practices are gaining more importance in this present situation than ever before. We will try to see this aspect in our presentation today to some extent at least. First and foremost, my sincere thanks to Samartha Bharata and Sri Rajesh ji for giving me this opportunity to present my views and facts about our today's talk on COVID-19 issue. In the process of presenting this to all of you, I too had an opportunity to learn a lot regarding the subject. I, Dr. Hemant, am an orthodontist by profession, and I humbly accept that I may not be an authority in this subject, but I will definitely make an attempt to give enough information for taking care of an individual health care from a common man point of view. Thank you all for being me for here today. As we all look into the history, my dear friends, the mankind has always been suffered by pandemic. If you have heard about the Black Death or bubonic plague in the period of 1350 has caused maximum deaths. Around 200 million people were dead. The last biggest pandemic was Spanish flu 100 years back, causing 40 to 50 million deaths. Isn't it HIV in 1980s has caused around 35 million deaths. Next came SARS, have caused concerns since the year 2000. And the latest pandemic recently was Ebola in 2014, has caused 11,000 deaths. All these have been viruses. The present pandemic of COVID-19 is also a virus, which has posed a great challenge due to its fast spreading nature, infecting most of the countries in the world. It has changed the way the world was functioning. Yes, it's destroyed the economy, and nothing remains the same as of now. Though every pandemic has posed several challenges, it has given us an opportunity also to change ourselves for good, not to destroy, but to remain humble in front of nature and not to forget our basics. Thus, despite the persistence of disease and pandemic throughout history, a reduction in death rate and spread can be brought out by utilizing modern medicine with traditional wisdom and practices in our culture. At this point, I would really like to congratulate Government of India under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji for the bold and an unparalleled step taken in the history of mankind by implementing 1.38 billion people lockdown, which has no second example paralleling it. It shows how much he cares for this life of Indians and has shown this work tirelessly day and night for our sake. This step has definitely proven to be an effective measure if we compare the world population and the death rate. I will now state the reason for the drastic step of 1.38 billion lockdown. In our country, the population and the poverty is high. At the same time, the literacy and healthcare to reach majority is low. In such a situation, if lockdown was not announced, COVID-19 would have played a havoc where millions would have been affected and the death rate would have been shot high. At present, we should be thankful to our government for taking such early steps and also preventing this pandemic by Mask India movement, which was very important. So now let us know how our healthcare system helped us through this lockdown challenge to reduce impact of COVID. Until what time should this go on? The lockdown or isolation was based on the fact of that social distancing will break the chain of transmission and to help slow down the spread of COVID-19. This isolation has been traditional wisdom and common practice followed by our ancestors also. When I heard from my grandfather that when a disease plagued the society, they have sought refuges in place outside their villages or cities and returned back when the disease has subsided. The present lockdown is based on both scientific events and a traditional wisdom which has given us enough time and opportunity to set up our healthcare and other infrastructures or facilities to handle this situation. Otherwise, it would have been a situation like Italy, where things went out of control in spite of having the world's best healthcare system. The country like Italy, UK, Spain, France, all of these countries had 30,000 deaths, more around 30,000 deaths. And US, it's around 80,000 deaths. Also, one research says that 50% of corona strains in India is showing a spike protein mutation, which causes it to be more contagious this is the news of concern which I would like to tell. However, by following all the government guidelines and few things that we present today will help us stay protected. However, this lockdown, is it a permanent solution? Can it continue forever? So what do we do now? No, the permanent solution for this COVID pandemic is a vaccine which has to come, or developing herd immunity is the only permanent solution. Development of vaccine will definitely take time. No one knows when it would happen. Though Italy is claiming that we have developed one. Also, we cannot predict when it would enter the market. However, we may work towards developing the herd immunity, which is very important. Herd immunity means when 60 to 70% of population develops the immunity to this COVID, the infection ceases to be a threat, as a larger majority of the population do not contribute to disease transmission. When this herd or community immunity happens, the disease either stops or reduces to a larger extent. This process of developing herd immunity starts with strategic release of lockdown. Very, very important, my dear friends. Strategic release of this lockdown. During this period, the most crucial aspect would be taking care of individual health care. And during this stage, if we as an individual accept responsibility and do not take care on basics, it would have a disaster effect. That means to say we have come to the stage 2. The stage 2 is breaking up this lockdown. Stage 1 was lockdown. So post lockdown, what are the challenges and what is our role to flatten this curve and resolve this issue forever? Let's see. When the lockdown is released and rules are relaxed, we shouldn't mistake that it would be the end of COVID fight, but actually the beginning is started to fight against COVID. There will be several challenges that we may face in this situation. And if we take in the right attitude, we convert this challenge into opportunity to come out of these tough times. Post release of lockdown, we still need to follow social distancing, still continue with Mask India movement, follow personal hygiene measures like hand sanitizers, frequent washing of hands, do not touch your eyes, face, mouth, nose, etc. Not to create crowded areas anywhere, which is very, very important, because in the past we have few news which has how this COVID has spread because of these crowded areas, and restrict ourselves outside movement only if it's essential. One example you will give: Sweden. There was no lockdown announced from the beginning at all, but the citizens took full responsibility following the above measures stringently, and this strategy actually worked out for them. Flattening of the curve has been started. The same discipline displayed by South Koreans, where they had a general elections successfully with stringent protocols in spite of COVID situation. They have been truly shown how to live with the virus around without being bogged down. The same grit and discipline has to be simulated now by the Indians to keep the spread under check. Second, at this stage, we have challenges regarding how we take care of these old people and medically compromised people, they are very vulnerable, maybe at your home or at your neighborhood. It's better not to let them outside and protect them from contracting any infection. During this stage, once we start moving out of from home, an important challenge is to protect our older ones, as I said, medical compromised, and children at home. The young who start moving out of from home for work have to isolate themselves from old and kids to protect them. It's very important. I know it's tough, but you need to isolate from them. The most important is, again, I would like to thank the government for you all have to use Arogya Setu app, which is an excellent app. Download this app immediately if you're not. Register yourself and update your details. Always keep it on to know if any COVID positives are closer to you. You will also get to know COVID areas as per green, orange or red zone in this country. Here the challenge we may have is that many people might not be aware of these applications. Hence, it becomes our duty to help people at home, neighborhood or at workplace to educate them about these apps. All these measures not only protect them but also help to protect ourselves too. Coming as an educationist, yes, we do have challenges. We have challenges to cover the curriculum for students, which has been successfully overcome by changing our ways. We used online platforms to finish our curriculum, but now having the challenge of conducting exams also, but especially practical examination to conduct has been a challenge for us. And again, as a clinician, we have challenges disinfecting our private clinics and at the institution level also. Presently, we are taking care of our only emergency cases and not to restore normal clinic dental practices for few more days. All this has been done using new infection control protocols for personal and patient safety. This situation also has led to economic challenge for us. My dear friends, the most important is the economic challenges faced by individual. Have given us opportunities to live our life frugally, all ways of life like eating, shopping, spending, going out, only when needed, etc. During this lockdown, especially I enjoyed this. Working from home was a new norm where people are embracing digital revolution. This is to has cut a lot of cost at many levels like travel, electricity at workplace, etc. Our today's program is also an example, converting this challenge into an opportunity. Eighth, our health sector systems getting overwhelmed in a serious challenge, which has created opportunities like coming out with various innovations, converting trained coaches into COVID hospitals, ICU units, quarantine units, which can be moved from any part of the country based on the need. Government has also converted public places like stadium, hotels into quarantine zones to accommodate COVID suspects or patients. This highlights our preparedness to tackle the situation with creative ideas. Ninth, this has also been innovations at various levels like low-cost portable ventilators designed by our department DRDO. In fact, I recently read out M&M, a Bangalore-based physician, has come up with some unique concept by adjusting scuba diving headgear into an oxygen supplying devices. Means to say these are all things, innovations have been created at every levels. In a 10th one, in a challenge to develop vaccine, several new collaborations are getting created at local, national and international levels. For example, Serum Institute of India has collaborated with Oxford University of UK and even Columbia University of US also. So India is having an infrastructure to maintain vaccines, to manufacture vaccines which can be distributed across the world. Coming to last three of the things I would like to say. Most important again, my dear friends, food security is a serious challenge. which has taken care largely by governments and needs to be taken care by NGOs and other voluntary organizations. However, the implementation part gives us a huge opportunity to help our countrymen by offering ourselves at various levels in reaching out people around us who are poor and needy. In each one takes the responsibility, food security ceases to be a challenge. The time has given us an opportunity to spend time with family. I've really enjoyed this lockdown by spending my time with my family, especially my parents. Focus on basics like proper eating, sleeping, exercising, and learn new things for which we have never found time due to our busy schedule in this modern world. Another serious challenge might be that this virus won't leave us soon. In this situation, might be a long-term economic problems protecting old and vulnerable people in the long run. We have to be prepared to face this situation too. How do we prepare face this situation? Everyone accepts, isn't it? Prevention is the best strategy. This can be done by boosting our immunity using various measures. My dear friends, prevention, yes, as I told, everyone wants to. There are prevention techniques by traditional measures and modern methods which have already been discussed. So the main challenge with COVID-19 is that modern medicine doesn't know much about this virus or disease. At present, we don't have any remedy for this except prevention. So we all have accepted right now there's no medicine. The only the modern medicine tells is to prevent. So prevention is, as per I've already discussed, as per modern medicine, it's evidence gather for other social distancing, personal hygiene, lockdown, etc. have been implemented by the government. We as citizens have to follow these guidelines and make this successful. However, only this will not help us in the long run. So we need to utilize traditional and other alternative practices. Why? My dear friends, modern medicine has a history of less than 150 years, whereas our traditional medicine has a history of over 5,000 years of efficacy. We have other alternative options too. We have to be tried and open mind along with standard care. Following are the various measures which can be used as an opportunity to explore possibilities that can be helpful to tackle this and future such crises also. Coming one by one, first thing, basic traditional which I would like to tell is yoga and breathing exercises. Simple yogasana and breathing exercises improves immunity, my dear friends, which is proven traditionally and by modern day research too. Adequate oxygenation of cells of the body by yogasana and breathing exercises helps keep our body in a healthy state. Second important thing is meditation. Here, meditation triggers parasympathetic activity and suppresses sympathetic activity. What is this? Why we need to suppress the sympathetic activity? The sympathetic activity releases cortisol, which reduces immunity. So by reducing sympathetic trigger, immunity is normalized in a natural way. So meditation plays a major role in boosting up your immunity. Next comes an important thing for this pandemic, especially COVID-19, is the nutrition. This pandemic requires a nutritionist, which is very, very important, who can change the course of the infection for good. A proper nutrition can boost immunity instantly too. And there is a saying that one who knows proper eating will not have disease. Thus, eating less sugar, I'm telling you again, less sugar, and having a proper balanced diet keeps us healthy. A vegetarian diet too is recommended by many nutritionists. Spirulina and red mushrooms are exceptionally nutritional supplements which are super immune boosters. At this junction, I would like for you all to refer to Ayush guidelines by Ministry of Health Ayush, which has been clearly given There's a lot of simple things which can, but it's reading out it may be. So I would tell you to go ahead to the website of Ministry of Health, and they are given a clear guidelines how to uh, uh, come out of this COVID-19. Uh, the next important thing is, as the saying goes, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Sleep late and decreased sleep is the biggest killer of immunity. Okay, so sleep early and getting early is the best way to keep our immune cells optimal for the day. The day we sleep late, it will definitely reduce our immunity for that day, or maybe even for the next few days, which has been very shown in our research things. About homeopathy, not to know, but keeping open mind. They have simple medicine as prophylaxis, which is safe too, and this can be an alternative medicines. As a dentist, I could just give a small example how oxygen really helps. A simple example you could give is mouth breathing in patients. Can cause a severe problem other than dental or an orthodontic problem. So few know that many other issues can be due to lack of proper oxygenation of cells. The normal pattern of breathing is nasal breathing, which increases nitric oxide in the nose, sinuses, and the blood, building up the immunity and preventing other serious health issues also. So we treat and train children, adults also, to develop nasal breathing, which will help them tremendously and can change their life forever. In the present COVID situation, a proper nasal breathing can restore the immunity of the individuals. Though many of these are promoted by the government, it needs to be followed more commonly by the general public. This will surely do us good in the long run, not only to deal this COVID-19, but also to face any such infections that might come up in the future times too, which is aggressive than this COVID-19. So all the general public should be open to utilize these measures and be benefited. The key message for today is that we all can go through these tough times by starting to develop a healthy lifestyle, as mentioned yesterday by our respected speaker, Shri N. Tippeswamiji, which he said, it can be done with no cost, no expenses, or medicines, or hospitalization, or anything else for that matter. All this is not difficult for Indians especially, as these have been part of our life in our culture. My dear friends, before I end my talk, I sincerely thank national medical organizations who have taken lots of initiatives and have been closely working with government, helping people in many difficulties the country has faced, including to fight this COVID menace, and other organizations, Samad Bharat, and so many organizations who have been worked along with the government. At this juncture, I would like to thank all the COVID warriors like doctors, nurses, attenders, police, or all volunteers, whoever has served during these tough times, for all their valuable services. They are the true heroes who are working tirelessly to save lives, putting their own lives at risk. Isn't it, my dear friends? Today, each one of us have an opportunity to become COVID warriors by helping poor and needy, or helping our neighbors, or contributing in any small way that is possible by us. So, I hereby end my talk with another namaste, which actually means you and I are one. When we all are fighting this together to get rid of COVID-19 is not at all difficult. This can happen only when we individuals cultivate a lifestyle that is healthy, and it shows up to a society level, then the country level, and then the level of the world. With this, I end my talk. Thank you all. I would just look into any questions which have come. I'll just have a look on it. Okay, I can see here few questions. How do you see the progressive COVID virus episode in the months to come? As I initially accepted, maybe I'm not an authority to talk about this COVID-19 as an orthodontist, but with few of my things which I've read, my dear friends, this virus is here to stay. If not forever, for some time at least for sure. We cannot wish it away unless we develop a vaccine or develop immunity towards the infection. Right now, the latter looks more feasible and necessary. To develop immunity is the best thing by healthy habits, eat the right kind, right diet, follow some basic guidelines to stay away from infection. And if we do all this, I'm sure we all see a drastic reduction in the case number sometimes too. Thank you. Next, what are the precautions as a patient I will have to take if I have to see a dentist now? Okay, this is relevant to my topic. Yes. First, there is a proper guidelines which is given as per the Dental Council of India and the State Dental Council. They have come out with standard operative procedures, which clearly tells we are now actually supposed to treat emergency cases and slowly shift on urgent cases and elective treatments. Yes, if you are really, it's an emergency, yes, it's better to have a telephonic conversation with the doctor to tell your severity, how it is, the situation, what it is, the pain or whatever, even including with some photographs you can send and speak to your concerned doctor and explain him what's the situation, and he decides on it how and to immediately treat your case or to put on an elective things, and definitely he, as a dentist, he can solve your problems with your pain and other things. So we are following the standard operative procedures as by the directives of the apex body and the State Dental Council. Next, okay, it's an important thing which they have asked. As a doctor, what do you have to say about the social stigma that is being associated with patients who are diagnosed with COVID-19? Thank you for bringing up this valid and necessary issue. As a doctor, it pains me to see that kind of social stigma has been attached to patients who have been diagnosed with COVID by some people. I want to take this opportunity to tell everyone here that it's a virus that can affect anyone, and healthcare workers are the first line people to get affected. It doesn't matter if it's either rich, poor, or belongs to any particular religion. The infected person can also be treated and cured. All that has to be done by others is to follow the government-led guidelines and safeguard themselves from other infected person. So we all have to be in this together to fight this virus. So let's all unite and we all have a chance. Next, one more. Joshi sir has asked about food and nutrition to be followed. Sir, I have clearly explained, and I would request you to go and have a clear guidelines which is given by Ayush guidelines, and I already mentioned very clearly about nutrition, and this is the it's not an epidemiologist or it's not a doctor which is required, a nutritionist which is really required. So that is very important at this juncture. Nutrition plays a major role to fight this COVID by boosting up our immunity.
Representations were given to the government.
Yeah, Usha Sundar. Yeah, Madam has asked what are your plans to execute. I have in fact come across in the Rajiv Gandhi University with uh, medical education minister, sir. Yes, I have requested because this fight, especially for dentist, it's tough. We all know because it can spread through saliva very easily, and COVID is one thing everyone is scared is about the way it's spreading. And dentist, no doubt about it. It's in fact when I put across from RGHS to Minister of Medical Education Minister Dr. Sudhakar sir, he has definitely agreed on things what he can help, whether it's a financial help or in what way he would come out. I'm waiting. We have already put across to sir. Coming across, maybe we required to equip our clinic. Those things can be subsidized, or even to an extent PPE kits may be given free for dentists. All these things are going on. Even we have I am with close president also with Karnataka State Dental Council and IDA. They are all coming out with a proper request to the government as well to the ministers, and we hope they understand our situation and help us in this situation. Thank you. I think I have covered most of it, and thanks for giving me an opportunity. Again, I thank Samarth Bharata for giving me this wonderful event and participating, and I hope I have made few points which is really helps you to come out of this COVID-19. Thank you. Namaste.